listening to Strange Shit Happens.
From the great American Pacific Northwest, greetings and welcome, my friends, to this week's edition of Strange Shit Happens in the News. I'm Sean Warden. We kick things off beneath the waves this week, where an unnamed admiral reveals tales of gigantic underwater objects zipping through the ocean at incredible speeds. Then, we take to the skies over Istanbul, tracking UFOs that have local pilots questioning what's on their radar. Then off to the California coast we go, where a superpod of dolphins turns a marine biology survey into an impromptu party. From there, we travel back in time with Norwegian archaeologists uncovering ancient runes that whisper secrets from before the Viking Age. And then finally, down to Florida, we'll explore a chilly mystery of ice crashing through a sunlit roof. Buckle up for a journey through the strange and spectacular, each story more intriguing than the last, right here on Strange Shit Happens in the News. Now, before we get to the news, don't forget to like or subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on, or pass this podcast on to spread the word about our show. We're new. We need your help. You can also follow us on X at strange_happens. We post news throughout the week, so follow us to stay on top of the latest. And we're always looking for stories from you, paranormal or otherwise. So visit us at www.strangeshithappens.com. That's strangeshithappens.com. And go click the report an event button right there on the main map. You go there on the website, there's a map right there on the home screen. Right there on that map, you'll see report an event. And that's where you can do that. So you can report your event, whether it's a UFO sighting or some other occurrence, strange, weird things happening, things you're seeing. Maybe you've had dinner with a serial killer. I don't know. It's up to you. But right there on the website, go click report an event, and you can tell us all the strange shit happening to you. Because this show isn't just about the news. It's about your stories as well. You can also leave us an audio message right there in that submission. It's built into that form. So if you're entering your information and you want to just give us an audio version of your story, you can do it right there as well. So again, save it to your bookmarks, visit strangeshithappens.com, and give us a holler if you're encountering the strange and unusual. And on that note, let's dive right into the news. In a revelation that sounds more like a scene from a sci-fi thriller than a congressional report, Republican Representative Tim Burchett has brought to light claims of unidentified objects speeding through the ocean at unimaginable speeds. Speaking to former Congressman and current One America host Matt Gaetz, Burchett described these enigmatic occurrences involving a craft, quote, this is incredible to me, as large as a football field, moving underwater at hundreds of miles per hour, as recounted to him by an unnamed admiral. Burchett, a known advocate for greater transparency regarding UFOs, or as they're now termed, unidentified anomalous phenomenon, or UAPs, has expressed his belief in the possibility of extraterrestrial activities given the, quote, vastness of God's great universe. Despite the incredible nature of these claims, he reassures the public that there's no need to fear these advanced beings. He says, quote, I'm not worried about them harming me, he stated. With those capabilities, they would have barbecued us a long time ago, he added, humorously dismissing the threat. Although I guess if you don't know what they are, then how do you know that there's no need to fear them? But I digress. The topic of UAPs, once fodder for tabloids and conspiracy theorists, has recently seen a shift towards serious government inquiry. In response to numerous reports by military personnel of objects exhibiting impossible aerodynamics and speed, Congress and the Pentagon has been forced to reconsider their stance on these mysterious sightings. Despite the Pentagon's 2024 report dismissing many sightings as misidentified human-made objects like weather balloons and spy planes and drones, the continuous flow of credible reports has led to an ongoing investigation into these aerial anomalies. The Pentagon's dedicated Office for UAP Research has been actively collecting and analyzing reports, receiving 21 significant cases last year alone. These ongoing efforts underscore a growing acknowledgement of the potential national security risks posed by unidentified objects traversing through American skies, or in this case, beneath its waters. This changing perspective marks a significant shift from skepticism to a more measured recognition of the unknowns that still lie beyond our current understanding of the universe and all that is around us. Now to the bustling skies over Istanbul, where pilots have encountered a perplexing mystery. For 3 consecutive days, UFOs have reportedly triggered alarms on their aircraft systems while navigating near Sabiha Gökçen Airport, and I apologize if I've butchered that in any way. Despite rigorous efforts by air, sea, and land crews to locate the source of these alerts, no definitive explanation has surfaced. The incidents began with sudden warnings from the Traffic Collision Avoidance System, which led pilots to alert air traffic control. Quote, on final approach at 300 feet, we received a traffic alert. It could have been a drone or some other aircraft, but this is for your information, reported one pilot, highlighting the gravity of the situation. The control tower confirmed that this wasn't an isolated case, noting, sir, we have been dealing with this for the past 2.5 hours. Several flights before you also received this warning. The enigma deepened when another pilot observed descending traffic 500 feet below, appearing as unidentified on their system, seemingly moving ahead of the aircraft. Quote, we also received this warning on our previous flight, the pilot added, intensifying the intrigue. This wave of unexplained phenomenon in Istanbul's airspace coincides with growing UFO-related tensions globally, particularly in the United States, where recent mysterious lights and supposed drone swarms have sparked federal investigations and political stir. Amidst this backdrop, UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists are increasingly vigilant, fueled by claims from figures like President Biden and President Trump now, talking about these unusual things being seen, particularly over the skies of New Jersey and New York on the east coast of the United States. As Istanbul grapples with its own aerial mysteries, the connection between these global events remains as elusive as the unidentified objects themselves. Whether these are mere technical glitches or something truly unexplained, the skies above Istanbul have undoubtedly added a new chapter to the ongoing narrative of UFO intrigue. In what is really quite a remarkable marine event, a vast group of over 1,500 dolphins was observed off California's central coast, engaging what appeared to be a sizable social assembly. This extraordinary gathering was witnessed by Evan Brodsky and Colleen Talty of Monterey Bay Whale Watch while they were conducting research on gray whales near Point Lobos. Their research took an unexpected turn when a tip from another vessel led them to encounter hundreds of Risso's dolphins. Initially spotting only a few, Brodsky noted, quote, we got there and realized there were a lot more than 100, just a few hundred. So using drone footage to survey the scene, they estimated the pod's vast numbers by counting visible fins and extrapolating for those beneath the surface. This sighting is rare for Risso's dolphins, known for their more typically modest group sizes. The spectacle was not just a visual treat, but also a behavioral anomaly, with dolphins actively breaching, spy hopping, and even approaching the boat, behaviors that are unusual for that species. The dolphins, forming smaller subgroups within the larger pod, seemed to converge for this grand social event. According to Talty, some were mating while others were simply enjoying the company, moving slowly southward without any apparent focus on feeding. Highlighting the importance of witnessing such wildlife in their natural settings, Brodsky expressed a hope that his footage would inspire greater appreciation for marine life and support their protection against hunting and captivity. Quote, it's really special to see them wild and free, he emphasized, advocating for natural encounters over captive experiences. So if you have a chance, and I will say it's actually really quite interesting to go whale watching, you never know what you're actually going to see. Sometimes you don't see whales at all, but it's really amazing when you do, and I highly recommend it. It's a beautiful experience. In a groundbreaking discovery, archaeologists have assembled what are believed to be the earliest stone fragments inscribed with Germanic letters, offering a glimpse into the Norse language predating the Viking era. These findings, made by a team from University of Oslo and recently published in the journal Antiquity, suggest an intriguing, intentional fragmentation of these inscriptions. The sandstone fragments unearthed during the 2021-2023 excavations at a gravesite in, I'm going to butcher this, Svingerud, Norway, were found scattered across separate graves and dated between 50 BC and 275 AD. Researchers described how these pieces, once part of a larger stone, quote, fit together like a jigsaw puzzle, hinting at a ritualistic aspect of their original use and later dispersal. Christel Zilmer, a professor of runology involved in the study, explained the challenge in tracing the origins and evolution of these runes, which were used in Nordic languages before the Latin alphabet was adopted. The carvings on the stone, an unusual blend of runes and other markings, were likely used for both ceremonial and practical purposes, reflecting a deep-seated cultural significance. The site itself, with its grave field and the placement of the rune-inscribed stone, suggests a commemorative intent, possibly marking a significant event or potentially even an individual. However, the subsequent use of fragments in different burials also points to a symbolic reuse, perhaps intended to endow other graves with a similar spiritual or social significance. This discovery not only sheds light on the early use of runes, but also raises questions about the reasons behind the intentional fragmentation and distribution of such an important cultural artifact. As archaeologists continue to delve into these mysteries, they remind us of the complex interplay between language, ritual, and memory in ancient societies. And in what may be a story of literal strange shit, I guess, maybe, I don't know, we'll find out soon enough, the day took a chilling turn in Palm Beach, Florida, quite literally when a hefty block of ice decided to drop in, uninvited, through the roof of a home. The sunny skies and balmy 75-degree weather were rudely interrupted at precisely 3:30 p.m. in the Seminole Woods neighborhood, where the only thing cooler than the ice was the surprise it caused. Firefighters arriving at the scene were met not by flames, but by frost as they discovered a gaping hole in the metal roof and the icy culprit comfortably nestled inside the living quarters. The Palm Coast Building Department quickly sprang into action, inspecting the damage and assuring everyone that the home was still fit for habitation, albeit a bit draftier than before. Local resident Mike Bishop expressed his shock to Fox 35 in Orlando, saying, quote, "Couldn't believe it. Never heard of it in my life. First time," as if to suggest that falling ice was not included in the neighborhood welcome brochure. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office, not typically on ice patrol, has teamed up with the Federal Aviation Administration to crack the case. They're exploring the chilly possibility that an aircraft unwittingly donated the ice block during its flight. Aviation expert Shem Malmquist explained that these aerial ice bombs are not as rare as one might hope, noting, quote, "The area under the mast can develop a ball of ice, and at certain points, that could just dislodge and fall." As the investigation continues, the FAA has committed to determining if the frosty projectile was a high-altitude leaky souvenir and which aircraft might have been the unwitting ice dispenser. In the meantime, the local fire department has ensured the home is temporarily patched up with a tarp because nothing says Florida like sunbathing under a tarp to avoid surprise ice attacks from the sky. And by the way, I don't know that it could just be ice. The reason I said up at the front of the story, it might be strange shit, is, well, I mean, I guess it could be ice still, but, I mean, how many times have you heard about, chunks of, refuge from airplanes falling from the sky and hitting the ground? Although usually it's discolored by... Anyway, I'm going to stop there. You get what I'm saying. And finally this week, the night sky in the coming months promises a spectacular lineup of celestial events that will delight stargazers and astronomy enthusiasts alike. Here's a look at some of the most exciting happenings to keep an eye on. First up, mark your calendars for the annual Lyrid meteor shower, which is expected to peak around April 22nd and 23rd. This dazzling display is known for its bright and fast meteors, with about 20 meteors per hour lighting up the sky under the correct optimal conditions. You get what I'm saying there. The Lyrids are one of the oldest recorded meteor showers, with observations dating back 2,700 years. Observers in the northern hemisphere are especially in for a treat, as the radiant point of the shower near the constellation Lyra makes it an ideal spectacle in the pre-dawn hours. Finally, don't miss the total lunar eclipse on May 16th. This event will be visible from many parts of the world, including North and South America, Europe, and Africa. During this celestial phenomenon, the Earth will pass directly between the Sun and the Moon, casting a shadow that completely covers the Moon. For a few magical minutes, the Moon will appear to glow with a deep reddish hue, a result of sunlight being filtered and refracted by the Earth's atmosphere. It's a beautiful and serene experience, providing an excellent opportunity for photography and quiet reflection under the stars, and also a chance to just keep an eye out on the sky. Again, you never know what you're going to see when you're keeping your eyes to the sky, especially during a celestial event. Each of these events offers a unique and awe-inspiring view of our universe in motion. Whether you're a seasoned astronomer or a casual observer, there's something truly magical about watching these celestial dances unfold overhead. So grab a blanket, find a spot away from the city lights, and enjoy the cosmic show. Well, that's it. That's all I've got for this week. Don't forget to reach out if you see something unusual in the sky or someplace else, or if you have an interesting story to tell. You can reach us at strangeshithappens.com. Again, that's strangeshithappens.com. Please like or subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on, or pass this podcast on to spread the word about our little show here. And until next time, keep your eyes to the sky and know that here on Earth and in the universe, we are not alone. For Strange Shit Happens in the News, I'm Sean Wharton.